Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. My name is Montana Buck, and in today's video we are going to be doing this eye look right here. Really quickly before we get into today's tutorial, can we talk about my nails for a minute? My nail tech killed it. I cannot believe how incredible these nails look. On the thumbs, I don't know if you guys can see, she did like gold flakes, and then we have gold foil layered underneath, pressed flowers, and then like little, I don't know how you would call these, like they're not stickers, but they're like little iridescent like flakes. Considering the fact that my birthday is in November, I am a fall baby, and I just thought for my birthday, let's go all out, let's do something really fun, and this is what we came up with. I'm just like mwah, 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 mwah. Ooh. But without further ado, let's get into today's look. My inspiration behind today's eye look is midnight, dreamy, starry night vibes, and I am so happy with the way this look turned out. I hope that you guys like it, and if you want to see how I created it, then just keep watching. Let's go in with our foundation. This is the tried and trusted L'Oreal True Match foundation. I'm using the shade N3. This color particularly is great for me when I have my fake tan on. Then picking up my foundation brush, this is the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80 brush, and with the brush I'm just picking up some of my MAC Fix Plus. I'm going to give it a couple spritzes onto the tips of the bristles, and then we'll just begin buffing this color into the skin. Get that neck area really well. This foundation particularly has been such a holy grail for me in the year of 2019. I really haven't used much of anything else, to be quite honest. I think maybe in the very beginning of the year I was using my I think it was like Dior Forever skin makeup, but it is a little bit more expensive. It is a higher end foundation, so I have to have something comparable that's drugstore price, you know? And this one really just it works great for me, so I keep buying it over and over and over. It's actually quite hydrating, and when I pair it with my serums, my eye creams, and I put it on top, it's just wonderful. It's definitely a winner in my book. Let's cover up and conceal these dark circles. I want to pick up my ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is in the shade Medium 20. I can get away with the shade Light 18 as long as I'm not wearing my fake tan. But for when I'm tanned, like right now, I like to do the Medium 20. I'm just taking this under the eyes, a little bit on the nose, and a stripe across the chin. Just a little bit on the top lip. Picking up my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. This has been washed and squeezed underneath the sink. I'm going to begin pressing the concealer into the skin. When blending my concealer, I like to start low and then just like really distributing it throughout the face, and then keeping it as full coverage as I can towards the very inner corner so that I get the most coverage for my dark circles in that area. I'm going to take this on top of the lid, and this is going to help prepare us for when we go in with our eyeshadows. Pretty immediately after I have my concealer blended in, I'm picking up this powder. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Loose Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Translucent. With my Morphe M438 tapered brush, I'm going to dip my brush into this powder and then begin to set the under eyes. I'm also taking this on top of the lid just to prevent any creasing in this area. I also want to take some of this powder along the chin area as well as upper lip. And we're just gonna go ahead and set our nose. Now, switching brushes, this one here, I believe I bought this at Walmart. It's just like a bronzer brush, an all over face powder brush, dipping back into that cap with the translucent powder. I'm gonna begin swirling this on the cheeks. And this is going to prepare us for our bronzer. It's going to help that bronzer to really blend much more seamlessly because it has another powder to stick to rather than just applying your foundation and then going with your bronzer. I find that it can look a little choppy or a little chunky in certain areas, and the blending is not as easy to do. This is just a helpful step to prepare us for that. And then whatever's left on my brush, we're just gonna put it right on the forehead. A little bit down the neck, just to make sure everything is set. Next, we're gonna go on with bronzer. This is the Benefit Hoola Caramel Bronzer. I've been loving it. It's a really wonderful color. It's a little bit more on the golden side as opposed to the Dark Chocolate Soleil has more of like a true bronze effect. And this is more golden, so I don't like to use this when I'm super fair. I find that it can be too dark. But when I have a nice tan going on like I do now, this one works really nice. So I'm just starting at the temple area, like right around the top of the ear, swirling circular motions. And then as the product begins to leave the brush, we're going to sculpt a little lower and bring it all the way down to the chin. Also sweeping some of this into the temple area and along the hairline as well. Trying to make sure all these baby hairs stay out of the way. There's so many of them, it's hard to control them. They just kind of do their own thing. Also going to take this bronzer underneath the neck and the chin area just to kind of continue to sculpt the face and make sure that we have a nice color matching going on here. I've been taking my bronzer and my contour up just slightly higher lately, and I really love the lifted effect that it's been giving me. It's a little more slimming on the face, and it takes the cheekbones and it really lifts them up. I used to apply my bronzer a little bit lower because I thought that it would make my cheekbones look like even more sunken in, and I was wrong. So we're just experimenting and trying different little tricks and techniques, and that's been a nice one for me. That one's really been working nice. We can continue with some highlight. I have this one here by Suede. It's like a little mini version. It came in a 3-pack, and I believe the other two shades were the Ice Highlight and the Rose Gold. This one is Skinny Dip, and it's my favorite. I'm going to be really careful opening this compact though because it is crushed. Probably got knocked around in my bag somehow, and now it's just a bunch of little pieces of it. I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge and just kind of dip it into the highlight as best as I can without making a huge mess. And I'm just going to dab it and dot it into the high points of the cheekbones. I love this highlighter. It is so, 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 so pretty, especially with a tan. Listen to me, now that I have my tan, I'm like, with a tan, with a tan, with a tan. Montana with a tan, Tanny with her tan. I'm just gonna keep pressing this into the skin and building it up to where I want it to be. It's like right about here looks good. I also want to take some of this on the Cupid's bow. Ooh. And on the nose, taking this up above the eyebrow, just so that we have a nice balance of glow on the skin. I don't want to be beaming from my cheekbones and then have a mattified forehead, so we're just gonna make some balance happen here. Maybe just a little bit on the chin. Great. So now that we have our highlighter applied, I'm going to take some of that Fix Plus and just kind of set the face and help all of these powders to melt together very nicely. Go over it a bit, tap it in. I'm pretty sure that's all we have to do for our skin for this look. Let's move on to eyes. We're going to be going in with the Riviera Palette. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. We're going to start here with Coastline on a fluffy brush. Or no, this is not Coastline. This is Estate. I'm sorry. But we're going to pick this up on a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to begin dusting and fluffing this in the crease. I'm going to pick up Coastline here. And we're going to target this just in the transition area. Using that same fluffy brush again, we're picking up this shade here. This one's called Monte Carlo. Again, I just want to keep this in the transition area. This actually is the brush that is included in the Riviera palette itself. It comes like down here in this little space, so that's cute. I'm going to use the fluffier side of the brush, and I'm going to dip into this purple shade down here. This is called Canes. Then starting from the very outer corner in circular motions, I'm going to begin to very lightly blend this shade into the pink. So now that I have my pink and my purple combined together, it's really creating this like dreamy, mystical shade. I don't even know what to call this. It's like, it's not violet and it's not periwinkle, but it's, I mean, maybe it looks different on camera. It kind of looks like candy on camera. Like, oh, this is so pretty. I'm picking up this palette here by Morphe. This is the Dark Matter eyeshadow palette that they made with Jaclyn Hill. I want to pick up my fluffy brush and dip it into this blue one here called Busted. So I really want to just kind of warm up that purple so that I can get a nice blend between purple and blue. So I think that this is going to like look really cool once we go in with our other blue eyeshadow shade that we're going to put on the lid. So I'm just meshing these colors together and creating a nice shadow effect here. I don't want it to be too blue and I don't want it to be too purple, so I'm really going to take my time to blend these all together and really get them how I want them. Back in with the Anastasia palette with that purple shade Canes, and we're just going to switch back and forth between the blue and the purple and get it to the desired blend that I'm looking for. This purple and this blue are starting to look really cool together, and I'm starting to see my vision come to life slowly but surely. Next, I'm going to pick up my concealer. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Now, dipping my concealer brush into some of that ColourPop No Filter Concealer, I'm using the shade Light 18, and we're just going to begin cutting the crease on our eye. Like so. So now that we have our concealers laid down, we can top them with some eyeshadow now. Dipping back into the Riviera palette, I'm going to be picking up this shade here. It's called Mediterranean. I'm going to begin laying this shade down right on top of our concealer. Ooh, lots of fallout, but it's okay. We will go ahead and just dust that away in a minute here. So really quick, I'm going to show you guys how I will take this fallout. If I get really close to the camera, you guys can see where that blue fell all underneath the under eye. This is the Morphe contoured blending sponge, and we're going to dip it into a little bit of translucent powder, and I'm just going to lightly stamp the powder all over the under eye without pressing the fallout into the skin. So we're going to look a little crazy for a minute here, but don't worry, because we're going to clean it up really, really nice in a minute. While we have this powder sitting, I'm going to dip back into the Riviera palette. I'm going to pick up that purple shade on a little bit of a smaller blending brush here, and I'm going to begin dusting this along the lower portion of the eye into the lash line. And then again, back into the Dark Matter palette, I'm picking up that blue shade called Busted. Did I say Dark Matter? I think it's Dark Magic. Sorry. And then with this blue shade, we're just gonna keep this on the very outer corner here. I don't want to drag this all the way into the inner corner. I think I want to soften it up. I'm going to go back in with that purple a little bit and try to make it more of that like midnight purpley blue rather than just like blue. Really quick, we're going to highlight the brow bone. So I'm just picking up this little tiny baby brush here. Let's remove the cat hair first. And I'm going to choose the white pigment in the shade, or in the palette here. This white shade is called Sails. Target this just at the very top of the arch of the eyebrow. And now I want to add a little bit of the shade Seaside here. I'm just going to pick this up on my brush. This is the same brush that we used to apply the blue on the center of the lids. And I'm just going to dust this right in the center. Just like that. This just gives that blue a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to pick up this fluffy brush here, and we're going to dust off all of this translucent powder. Wipe away all that fallout. Picking up a white eyeliner now. This is my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. This is the Liquid Kohl Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner by Seraphine Botanicals. It is a felt tip liner, so it is very easy to use. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to do this off camera and draw in some wings, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, wings are applied. They are definitely a little bit more thicker and more intense than I had initially planned. But it's okay, it happens. We're just going to keep this moving. Next, we're going to pick up our mascara. I've been using the NARS Climax Mascara lately. I love this mascara, it's so good. It helps my false lashes really to stick onto my natural lashes. And I find that this is just great for false lash wearers. So if you are a false lash connoisseur / queen, then I would highly recommend the NARS Climax Mascara. I'm going to go ahead and apply some glue on these lashes, and we're going to let them dry up for a minute and get nice and tacky and sticky, and we'll go ahead and put them on the eye. Now for the most important part of today's look, I have a surprise for you guys. I'm so excited. Okay, so here I have 2 little baggies filled with rhinestones. I've got a little bit of a bigger size and then a little bit of a smaller size. I'm going to glue them on the eye and around the eye area and just see what happens. I'm really excited. The way I'm going to be applying these rhinestones is with some eyelash glue. You can really use any lash glue that you want. Here's a pair of tweezers. This is what I'll be using to apply the stones. I think I want to start with like 2 stones at a time just to make sure the glue doesn't get dried up too quickly. It's coming together really nicely. Oh, I love this. This is so fun and pretty. I love it. I'm picking up this lip liner. This is by NYX Cosmetics. One of my most used all-time favorite lip liners. This is the shade Los Angeles. And then for lipstick, we're using this one here by MAC Cosmetics. This is in the shade YASH. And then to top off the lipstick, I'm just picking up this clear gloss here. I'm pretty sure I got this at a beauty supply store for really cheap. So any clear gloss will do the trick. And then the final step for today's face is a little bit of Fix Plus. Whew. Whew. Really quick off camera, I'm gonna go finish my hair and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, that is today's look finished and completed. What do you think? I personally am so in love with this eye look today. I cannot believe how good it turned out. It's exactly the way I saw it inside my head, and I'm just bubbling with joy inside. I'm like, feels so good. So I really hope that you guys enjoy today's look. If you would, please like, comment, and subscribe down below if you enjoyed today's video. And I guess that's all, guys. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.